There are some things in life that it seems you always have trouble finding. Decent parking when you go to a concert, a store that sells your favorite brand of soda, and your keys whenever you are running late. But it seems that here recently you would easily be able to add cheap gas to that list. You've no doubt heard people talk about the recent increase in gas prices, and there's a good chance you've heard some pretty out there theories for why gas is as expensive as it is right now. But why exactly is gas so expensive right now? It's true that gas right now is more expensive than it has been in quite some time. The U.S. Energy Information Administration says that the price per gallon of gas in the month of October for this year was $3.38. And this is the highest that price has been since 2014. As with many other things, the pandemic we're facing right now has had an impact on gas prices. An article in the New York Times says that the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, or OPEC, cut production of oil at the beginning of the pandemic due to countries around the world instating various travel bans and lockdown protocols. Now that these restrictions are being lifted, or at least abated in some places, there's an increased demand for oil. But the leaders of OPEC have disagreed on by how much to increase their production, so they're still producing the same amount. So demand has gone up, but the production is still the same, so it's not been able to keep pace with the demand. And anytime that there is an increase in demand with a low supply, the price for that good will tend to increase. Here domestically in the U.S., the pandemic has also caused widespread labor shortages, and that means slower shipping times and less manpower to get the oil to places it needs to be, leading to a further decreased supply. But the crisis that we're facing now, at least here in the U.S., is a much more mitigated version of what it could be. In recent years, the U.S. has become much more self-reliant in terms of oil production. We use a lot more alternative fuels, such as renewable energy sources, that decrease our reliance on oil. And the technology that we use is also more efficient than it used to be, so you can use less oil to do the same amount of work. So all these things help keep you from having a true disaster in terms of increase in prices of oil. And many experts believe that the increase in prices we're seeing right now is temporary. But until these prices abate, what can you do to save money on gas, or at least not use as much gas? The U.S. Department of Energy's website gives a list of tips and tricks that you can do to help save gas and in turn save money. One of the biggest things that they talk about is changing the way that you drive to help change your gas consumption. If you do a lot of speeding, if you drive at high RPMs, if you brake too hard, or if you accelerate quickly, this can put a pretty big dent in your gas mileage. The website says that your highway gas mileage can be decreased by as much as 15 to 30%, and your city gas mileage can decrease by as much as 10 to 40%. Letting your engine idle will also take a big chunk out of your gas tank. Depending on the age of your car and the size of your engine and how much you use AC and heat, you can use as much as a quarter to a half of your tank every hour that it sits idling. So you really want to make sure that you're not letting your car sit and run too long. They actually suggest that letting it sit more than 10 seconds is too much, so you want to cut your car off after that point. They also state that using too much heat or AC can really burn through your gas. So if you can find ways to avoid using heat or AC, or at least using them at a lower intensity, that can help you save a lot more gas. And you can also find ways to make yourself more comfortable without using these things. Like when it's cold, keep your jacket on in your car, or if it's hot outside, just crack a window instead of using the heat or AC. And that'll help you save gas. But now, hopefully that we've talked about these things, you understand more about why gas prices are actually going up. And you've also given a few ideas about how you can save money on gas. And the next time your uncle gives you a new theory off Facebook, you can tell him what's actually going on, and you can help him save a couple bucks on gas. So thank you for watching, and I hope that this helped.